Connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. National Drinking Straw Day. Can I have a plastic one? I know it's Calizuela. We don't do that kind of stuff. We think that straws are the end of the world. Of course, we think a lot of things. If you can regulate it in California, California will figure out a way to do it. Unbelievable. I guess the newest is a bamboo straw. So with all the straws we go through, does that mean we're going to be out of bamboo soon? You can't keep up with this stuff. At least I can't anyway. Let's move along and see. We've got National Chocolate Covered Cherry Day. Anything chocolate covered, I'm good with. My family doesn't so much like the chocolate covered cherries, though. Don't we usually see those more around the holiday time than we see them at this time of year? I wonder sometimes these national days, they'll give us a gift of something that looks like fruitcake day in July, and then they give us National Cherry Day. Now, those are holiday things that we think of. They correlate with the holidays. Speaking of correlating with holidays, I guess this year, what's the biggest sporting event you usually think of for Christmas? Basketball? Did you look at the ratings for the basketball games this year on Christmas Day? They were they were almost like a rerun of Charlie's Angels. They just were non-existent. NFL blew them away. Unbelievable. It was just amazing looking at that. Dow Jones Industrial Average recovered a little bit. It's down 220 points right now. The S&P's down 30. The NASDAQ is down 135. Oil's up $1.79 a barrel. And the 10-year Treasury, it's up a little bit, 3.957. That's a look at the markets. Gasoline prices, we'll take a look at those. 471 here in California. That's the average for the state of California. 309 is the national average. So once again, our governor, Newsom, unbelievable. If that guy had a clue on anything, it would be amazing. So he tells us, did you watch the debate last month? Or maybe it was November now. So he said that the reason for the high gas prices are because of oil company gouging. Yet the rest of the country's at $1.70 roughly a gallon, $1.60 a gallon, cheaper than California. So what is it? The oil companies say, well, we were going to only gouge California? No. It's the only where we have high taxes and fees is California. So that's what they're looking at. Josh is over there laughing at me because they're at $3.94 a gallon. That's what the chart says that from AAA. Now, I know because I was in Vegas over the weekend, they're paying a lot less than $3.94 a gallon in Las Vegas. That Sam's Club, I think, was at $3.50 a gallon. So they do average it. So if you're traveling along Highway 15 out in the middle of Tuleville, Highway 395 up in the middle of Tuleville, you're probably paying more for the gallon of gasoline because they can get it. Or maybe it's because it costs more to truck it into those areas. It's not price gouging, Gavin. It's a fact of life. It's called supply and demand. There's not a lot of demand. They've got to truck it in there. They charge more. Just the way it is. Now, if it was price gouging, Erin wouldn't be paying $2.66 a gallon. Think of that. She can almost get 2 gallons of gas for what we pay for a gallon here in California. Price gouging, Gavin? No. Maybe let's take a look at one other thing that Gavin might not be clued into. Costs, because they get passed along. The newest one, retailers, they're going to have a section in their stores. Gotta love it. I can't make this stuff up. But there's a new law that went into effect on the beginning of the year. Major retailers in California now required to have an aisle dedicated to gender-neutral toys under a law that took effect New Year's Day. Gavin Newsom signed it into law 2021, and it requires any store that sells toys and has at least 500 employees to maintain a gender-neutral section or area to be labeled at the discretion of the retailer. Store that does not comply, $250 penalty for the first violation and up to $500 for subsequent violations. Now, I'm sure that there's going to be some group that's going to go into the stores and just look for the section that's missing the gender-neutral toy section. Do we really think the kids care? Are they worried about what the gender toys are, or are they saying, "I like this toy, Daddy, I want this one," or "I like this toy, Mom, I want this one"? Hot Wheels, or Barbie, or whatever. Government, get out of the way. We don't care what you want. Why is it that everything has to be regulated? It's just unbelievable. Isn't that what we had a revolution for, is because we didn't like the king telling everybody what they had to do or what they didn't have to do? Wasn't that what the part of the Revolutionary War? Are we trying to get back there again? I wonder. We look at some of the things that are going on in our country. We look at this, the president over there at Harvard University. You couldn't pay me to send a child to Harvard, no less want to pay to go there. But she copies, she plagiarizes all of her works and then says, "Oh, it's race is the reason that she was asked to resign or finally forced to resign." No, it's because you're an idiot. It has nothing to do with race. You could be black, white, green, yellow. You're an idiot. And that's what the higher education is heading towards. And, maybe what happens is with the bottom line at Harvard is very, very simple. The idiot didn't realize that donors are what pays for the school. And when donors start saying, something, idiot, we're not going to put up with you anymore, she doesn't have a whole lot of choice, does she? Unbelievable. We keep watching these things, and it just baffles me how we can not understand this. And, you got NBC going back and using a report from a half a year ago talking about race segregations. Maybe they're looking to go back to another civil war. We're already working on the Revolutionary War. Maybe we need to go to a civil war as well. Unreal, because places like Harvard don't teach it. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, thinking about buying a home, ask yourself these questions. 2024 credit resolution, the importance of checking your FICO scores and credit reports, profile of a perfect 850 FICO score, and down payment assistance. We'll talk about all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Hey there, friends. Wondering if now is the right time to buy a home? Or are you waiting for a bunch of foreclosures? The facts speak loud and clear. Defaults and foreclosures are down, sure. We might be headed towards a recession. But did you know interest rates typically drop and real estate values often go up during a recession? So what are you waiting for? Higher prices or higher payments? Don't navigate these waters alone. Connect with RonSiegelRadio.com today. That's RonSiegelRadio.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. Make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The exclusive distributor of the Home Select program. It's for savvy investors. RSRHomeselect.com. RSRHomeselect.com shows you a little bit about the program. But right now, current pricing, right around a 2% effective APR, about a 2% effective APR. Loan values go way, way up into high levels. So think about that one. RSRHomeselect.com. Every day at this time, though, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates. They don't tell us points paid, points received, or APR. They tell us locked rates with consumers across 42% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. Looks like everything was up yesterday. Going to be that way today, too, it looks like. 30-year conforming up 6.651. 30-year jumbo up 7.058. 30-year FHA up 6.528. 30-year USDA. Rural areas, generally no down payment. That was up 6.563. And the best loan on the market, that's our 30-year VA loan, 6.224. That was up as well. We watch all of them for you. Put out a market commentary every morning as soon as the data allows. You can get a free copy, rsrmarketminute.com, rsrmarketminute.com. And like I say, we put that out every morning as early as the data will allow it. You know, sometimes we get data that comes in a little later, so we've got to watch for that, or we wait for that to come out before we put out our market commentary for the day. Let's see what the market's doing today, though. So we're looking at the S&P 500 is down 34.35 right now as we speak. 10-year Treasury coming back. It's flat right now. Mortgage-backed securities, that bond is down 6 basis points, which means interest rates are up ever so slightly. Why is that happening? Well, we got a couple things going on in the market. We did have commentary today from Richmond Fed President and voting member Thomas Barkin. He said that the Fed is making real progress on inflation, citing that the 6-month core PCE run rate is running slightly below their target. On the Fed's rate, he left the door open, Fed funds rate, left the door open for more rate hikes, saying that weaker demand or more rate hikes may still be needed to bring down inflation. When asked on cuts, he said that the range for the Fed funds rate is wide, and on recession, he said that any downturn may not be severe. Fed minutes from the December 13th meeting, where Powell pivoted and sounded much more dovish, can be released today at about 11 o'clock our time. The JOLT, Job Opening and Labor Transition Report, or Labor Turnover Report, showing job openings in November declined from 8.85 million to 8.79 million, below the 8.85 million the market was expecting. There was a revision higher to the October number from 8.7 to 8.85. Covered this in the past. This is a flawed figure, as there's a ton of double counting because of work from anywhere and multiple postings of the same job in different states, as well as different role titles, salaries for the same job benefit. In November, the number of hires fell 363,000 to 5.5 million, with the hiring rate falling from 3.7 to 3.5%. There were 157,000 less quits in November, which caused the quit rate to fall from 2.3 to 2.2. Within the report, leisure and hospitality had 100,000 less job openings from the previous report and 500,000 from this time in the previous year. This is important as this sector has been a real engine of growth, of the job growth. ISM manufacturing index, overall manufacturing index rose slightly, 46.7 to 47.4, but remains in contraction below 50 for the 14th month in a row. Looking at components, employment increased from 45.8 to 48.1, but new orders fell from 48.3 to 47.1. Perhaps of most importance, prices paid, which measures inflation, fell sharply from 49.9 to 45.2. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You've got the phone. Make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I thought I'd talk to you a little bit this morning about down payment assistance. And the reason I wanted to chat with you about down payment assistance today is there's a lot of misconceptions out there. A lot of people that think that they want to buy a house, or they have on their 2024 wish list buying a new house, yet they're not really sure of what's going on. They listen to the media. I have folks all the time that I'm chatting with asking me this, and they want to know, Ron, what do you think about real estate? What do you think? And they know that I study it. It's not that I just go bloviate like some media people. I study the market, and I ask a couple of questions. I had one yesterday that thought the real estate price. I wanted to know, do I think real estate prices are going to drop 30 or 40% in Orange County, California luxury market? And I said, no. But let me ask this question. What do you think the catalyst would be for something to drop like that? Well, there is none. There's not enough demand on the market. There's not enough supply in the marketplace for the prices to drop. And there's still people that want to buy. And when we look at the market, we look and say, okay, what is it that people see, or the holdbacks that people are experiencing when they're looking at buying a home? Well, according to the National Association of Realtors, 59% finding the right property, 18% paperwork, 17% understanding the process and steps, 17% saving for the down payment, and 8% getting a mortgage. Yet no one really talks about these issues. That's what they look at. First-time home buyers, what do they believe? Well, finding the right property, 61%, a little bit more. Saving for the down payment, 38% on that one. It was 17% of all home buyers. Understanding the process, 38%. Paperwork, 23%. Getting a mortgage, 17%. That's the distribution from the first-time home buyers. So what is the down payment? I have a lot of people say we got to have 20% to buy a house. Well, the media is going to tell you that the down payment has increased over the last year or two. Has it really? Well, the answer to the question is yes, it has. But has it increased enough to matter? No. Because the median down payment, first-time home buyers, according to the National Association of Realtors, 8% is the median down payment. That means half the people put down more than 8%, half the people put down less than 8%. Not an average of 8%, but half the people put down less than 8%. 15% for all home buyers. So again, half the people put down less than 15%, half the people put down more than 15% on the all home buyers. Repeat home buyers, 19%. So think about that. The repeat home buyers are not even putting down 20%, and many of them had more than 20% equity in their properties. So have they really gone up, or are they going down? Well, the first-time home buyers, according to NAR, in 2022, put down 6% was their average down payment. 2023, 8%. So it didn't change that dramatically. It went from 6% to 8%. On the all buyers, went from 14% to 15%. Rebuyers went from 17% to 19%. So everyone is putting down, or the majority of the people are putting down less than 20%. Less than 20%. So what's the question mark here? Hannah Jones, economic research analyst at Realtor.com. Fewer homes for sale meant more buyer competition, which led to higher down payments as buyers utilize their pandemic era savings to win multiple bid scenarios. High mortgage rates also drove buyers to consider larger down payments to minimize the size of their mortgage loan at today's elevated rate. That's coming from Hannah Jones, an economic research analyst for Realtor.com. But the fact of the matter is, people are still putting down a minimal amount of money. Median down payments much lower than what people think. Again, NAR, 8% of first-time home buyers. 8% on first-time home buyers. So what is the big issue? Percent of home price. Yeah, we're going to skip that one right now. Sources of down payment. I love this one. Where's the money coming from for the down payments? Again, this is coming from the National Association of Realtors. Savings, 46%. Past home equity, 39%. 401k, wow, 401k, 5%. And families are contributing 10%. So the numbers are coming in from places where saving money. Now, think about this one, and I like this slide that we have here also. And if you want any of these slides, just let me know. RJ at RonSiegelRadio.com. RJ at RonSiegelRadio.com. We can get them to you. But the National Association of Realtors breaks these down by race as well. So in the Black community, savings comes from 50%. In the Hispanic community, 66% from savings. And Asian Pacific, 65% from savings. Think about those issues. Sources of down payment, percentage of respondents among those who made a down payment. Savings, 54%. Proceeds from sale of primary residence, 37%. Loan or financial assistance from source other than employer, 1%. Now think about that concept. Loan or financial assistance from a source other than employer, 1%. Now, there are lots of different sources where you can get money. Lots of sources to get money. I'm going to continue this workshop when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. Thinking about buying a home, ask yourself these questions. We'll talk about it. 2024 credit resolution, the importance of checking your FICO scores and credit reports in the new year, and the profile of a perfect 850 FICO score. All that and more. Reach me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
79% of all credit reports have errors that should be corrected through factual disputing. You could be saving thousands every year if your report was accurate. CreditSanitizer.com provides a free credit report audit when you furnish a specific $1 credit report. You can use this information to request corrections to your report and potentially save thousands of dollars. Get your free credit audit at CreditSanitizer.com. That's CreditSanitizer.com for a free credit report audit. CreditSanitizer.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. 1990, the real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals, Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Get some great guidance right there. Think about buying a home? Ask yourself these questions. If you think about buying a home this year, you're probably paying closer attention than normal to the housing market. You're getting information from a variety of channels. The news, social media, your real estate agent, conversation with friends and loved ones. The list goes on and on. Most likely, home prices and mortgage rates are coming up a lot. Here are the top 2 questions you need to ask yourself as you make your decision, including the data that helps cut through the noise. Number 1, where do I think home prices are heading? One reliable place you can turn for information on home price forecasts. My favorite, the Home Price Expectation Survey from Fannie Mae, a survey of over 100 economists, real estate experts, and investment market strategists. According to the most recent release, the experts are projecting home prices will continue to rise at least through 2028. And if you are watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing a chart, estimated home price performance, December to December, as forecast in the fourth quarter of 2023. So why does this matter to you? While the percentage of appreciation might not be as high as it was in recent years, what's important to focus on is that this survey says we'll see prices rise, not fall, for the next 5 years. And I think that the chart, again, that you're looking at is probably understated, because I think that prices are going to rise more than 2.35% this year. And the expectation survey says 2.35. I'm going to guess it's going to probably be closer to 3 or 4%, maybe even more than that. So again, and then these numbers are all cumulative, so they add on top of each other. As the whole price is rising even more at a moderate pace is good news, not just for the market, for you too. It means by buying now, your home will likely grow in value and you should gain home equity in the years ahead. But if you wait, based on these forecasts, the home will only cost you more later on. So what are you waiting for? Higher prices? If you want to see what's going on in your market. And again, I talk about this because a lot of the data we give, unless we've got an agent here that's looking at it right from their neighborhoods, is national. But I have access to your zip code. If you go to RSR List, ANA.com, RSR List, ANA.com, you can actually get a pricing just for your zip code. Now, I know when you go to RSR List, ANA.com, it's going to come up with an Anaheim zip code. You register in there and then put the zip code you want, any one of the 3,007 zip codes in the United States. Put those in there, and our friends over at Altos Research will put together a report for you, because they track every home for sale every week. And they'll put together a report. So they send it out every Monday morning, and it kind of gives you an idea of what's available for sale in your zip code and what the prices are doing. Are the prices going up, going down? They'll also tell you based on quadrants. And what they mean by quadrants is the values based on the top 25%, the next 25%, the next 25%, and the bottom 25% of the properties that are available for sale. Those are the quadrants that they're using, and they tell you what's going on in each of those quadrants, so you know what's available. The price is going up, going down. What do they see? Second thing you want to know about, where do I think mortgage rates are heading? Over the past year, mortgage rates spiked up in response to economic uncertainty, inflation, and more, but there's an encouraging sign for the market and mortgage rates. Inflation is moderating, and here's why this is such a big deal if you're looking to buy a home. When inflation cools, mortgage rates generally fall in response. That's exactly what we've seen in recent weeks. And now that the Federal Reserve has signaled they're pausing their Fed funds rate increases and may even cut rates in 2024, experts are even more confident we'll see mortgage rates come down. Danielle Hale, chief economist at Realtor.com, explains, quote, mortgage rates will continue to ease in 2024 as inflation improves and Fed rate gets closer. Fed rate cuts get closer. A key factor in starting to provide affordability relief to home buyers, unquote. As an article in the National Association of Realtors says, quote, mortgage rates likely have peaked and are now falling from their recent high of nearly 8%. This likely will improve housing affordability and entice more home buyers to return to the market, unquote. No one can say with absolute certainty where mortgage rates will go from here, but the recent decline and the latest decision from the Federal Reserve to stop their rate increases signals there's hope on the horizon. While we may see some volatility here and there, affordability should improve as rates continue to ease. So the bottom line, if you think about buying a home, you need to know what's expected with home prices and mortgage rates. While no one can say for certain where they'll go, making sure you have the latest information can help you make an informed decision. That's why you come back here every morning at this time or in the afternoon, depending upon when you're listening to us, and get the latest information that we have available for you. And, you know, and here's the issue. Here's the thought process. If you wait, real estate values will most likely go up and interest rates will come down. But if you act now, you can take advantage of today's mortgage values and then restructure your home loan later. That's the whole idea. And it's our plan right now that every quarter this year, anybody that does a home loan through our team, Siegel Lending Team at Geneva Financial, we are going to pay, yes, there are certain limitations, for somebody's mortgage payment each quarter. We're going to put all the names of those people who either do a loan with us or refer somebody to do a loan with us. We're going to put them on a wheel like we've done with our gifts in the past and randomly select one person who we're going to pay their mortgage up to a certain limit with certain limitations. So make sure you get in on that one as well. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Let's continue our conversation about down payment assistance because there's a lot of programs out there and maybe you just need to do a little homework. Lack of down payment should not keep you from owning your own home. This is the one that baffles me, drives me crazy, infuriates me. Our veterans, we love them, but they go out and lease a property. It costs less money to get into a new property than leasing. Less money to get in owning your own new property than leasing. If you got an experienced real estate agent, and again, our team at Geneva Financial is the #1 lending team for mortgage lending team for Homes for Heroes. So we understand the programs. We understand the processes. Give us a call. Don't lease. If you are a veteran, you earned the right to have a piece of property and not have a down payment. So Mortgage Reports tells us the down payment assistance DPA programs exist to help home buyers who are short on cash find the funds they need to purchase a home. DPA programs provide cash assistance towards your down payment and sometimes help with closing costs too. Indeed, some could cover your entire upfront costs, though these programs are typically meant as to supplement to boost your existing savings. Think about this one. Median home price around the country, right, a little under $400,000. I know it's higher in California, but there are places in California that you can still get $400,000 homes. Down payment assistance costs about 0.5%. Let's call it 1%. So say you need $4,000 to buy your own home with a down payment assistance program. Now, what does it cost you to go get that new Apple computer? What does it cost to get an iPhone every year? You could be owning your own house. Did you know there are over 2,000 home ownership programs around the country? 2,000. Repeat buyers, over 39% of all programs are for repeat home buyers who have owned a home in the last 3 years. Down payment assistance, 75%. Down payment programs make up 75% of all available programs. They provide down payment and closing costs assistance to new home buyers. There are all kinds of places you can go to get that assistance that you want, that you need. Native Americans are eligible for any of 2,200 plus U.S. home buyer assistance programs. 42 U.S. home buyer assistance programs in 14 states are specifically designed to support Native Americans. Think about that. Service members, I just talked about that one. 2,200 U.S. home buyer assistance programs. DPR found there are 61 programs offering up to $120,000 in assistance, specifically developed to help them build, buy, or make accessibility-related home renovations. That's for our service members. Teacher Next Door, up to $8,000. In addition, the Teacher Next Door grant may also be eligible for down payment assistance, up to $10,681. Again, teachers qualify under the Homes for Heroes programs. If you're not a teacher, but you work in administration as a public service professional, you may qualify as well. Think about that one. Let's see, the 3 million new net black homeowners by 2030. So there's the program for black homeowners. There's programs for Hispanic home ownership. Got all of these things. All you have to do is make a phone call. There's a service called the Down Payment Assistance Programs by state. The last time I looked, 352 different ones. They're all over the place. You just need to look. You just need to go make a phone call. And again, if you've been turned down on any of these things, give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Be happy to chat with you and see what might be available to meet your needs. That's a little bit of a workshop on down payment assistance. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, 2024 credit resolution, the importance of checking your FICO scores and credit reports in the new year, and the profile of a perfect 850 FICO score. All that and more. Reach me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your budget getting blown up with high prices of gas and increased costs for other household needs? This is Ron Siegel, host of the daily home and finance radio program. Did you know if you have a low interest rate mortgage along with auto debt, credit card debt, or student loans, your family could potentially save $500 or more per month by restructuring these debts? If you'd like a free Borrow Smart analysis with our team, let's book an appointment to see how we might be able to relieve some stress. Schedule an appointment at rsrbsa.com. That's rsrbsa.com for your free Borrow Smart analysis. rsrbsa.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer and our friends over at Blue Water Credit have some great tools for you to help correct your credit scores. 2024 credit resolution, the importance of checking your FICO scores and credit reports for the new year. The start of a new year can be a great time to set goals that could improve your life in the days ahead. Many people set resolutions to take better care of their health, spend time with family and friends, travel more, or to make wiser financial choices. Yet there's another key New Year's resolution that you should consider adding to your list: checking your credit. Checking your FICO scores and your credit reports are smart habits to develop. The guide that we're going to talk about will help you understand why reviewing your credit is so important, how your credit information can impact your financial life, and simple steps you can take to improve your credit if you're not happy with its current condition. Why checking your credit report is important. Credit history has the potential to impact your life in many ways. Lenders, credit card issuers, and other companies often review your credit history to assess your risk as a potential customer when you apply for credit. As a result, negative information on your credit reports could make it difficult to qualify for loans, credit cards, an apartment, or even to land certain jobs. Because there are so many opportunities for your credit history to affect your financial life, it's important to know what others see when they review your credit reports. You can accomplish this goal with a routine credit checks from all three bureaus. Checking your credit reports is simple, fast, and free. You can visit annualcreditreport.com to request a free credit report from each of the three major bureaus, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. You have the right to request your report regularly. However, each credit bureau now gives consumers access as often as once a week. They're not going to give you your scores, but they'll give you the report. You're going to go to cleanall3.com. Cleanall3.com is, I believe, our site for getting your true FICO score. It does cost a little bit of money, but cleanall3.com. and you can actually get your report right there. It'll give you the report and your FICO score, and it's updated each month. Cleanall3.com. Good FICO score can save you $1,000. I'm going to give you some examples of potential savings that a higher FICO score could be worth. If you're financing a $391,800 30-year fixed rate mortgage, that was the median home price of it in October 2023, according to the National Association of Realtors. 760 to 850 FICO score, 6.451 APR, 2484 is your payment, 495,179 is interest. I'm not going to give you all of them. If you want the whole chart, give me a call at 800-306-1990. But let's go down to a 660 to 679. That's going to raise the APR to 7.064. Payment goes up to 2624. The total interest is 552.66 on that one. And a 620 to 639 is an 8% interest rate, 8.04 APR, 2886, 647. 647,000 is the interest paid compared to that 495. So that's almost $200,000 more, if my math is right. It may not be, but consider, again, the top number I gave you and the bottom number on the table. The difference between 8.04 and 6.45 APR may not seem that drastic, yet when you break down the numbers, you would pay an extra $422, $422 a month for the mortgages. If you had the versus that 620 to 639, the difference in total interest paid is even more pronounced by working to earn that higher FICO. It's 151,917. So I said 200, sorry. 151,917. Again, go to cleanall3.com, cleanall3.com, and check your FICO scores. You can get on there. I pay for the service, so I get it monthly. So I'm monitoring my credit all the time. Cleanall3.com. Yes, we do make a couple of bucks on it, not enough to buy lunch or even a cup of coffee at Starbucks, but cleanall3.com is the service that we recommend on that. That's the Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? So let's do another Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. Again, Your Credit Matters brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. Profile of a perfect 850 FICO score. That's what we're going to look at right now. A perfect FICO score can be a lofty goal, and it's not something that many people achieve. In fact, I've never, ever seen it. The best I've seen is an 834, but it also might not be as important as you think. In fact, when you apply for new credit, there might not be as big a difference having an exceptional FICO score of 805 versus a perfect FICO score of 850. Why a perfect score might not matter. Most FICO scores range from 300 to 850. A higher FICO score is better because it indicates that someone is less likely to miss payments in the future. Creditors consider this when deciding whether to approve credit applications and the rates and terms to offer applicants. They give the best offers to people who are least likely to miss payments. However, creditors generally don't require someone to have a perfect score to get the best offers. Instead, they often have a cutoff point, and anyone with a score higher than that can qualify. The specific point can depend on the creditor and the type of account. The creditors might change their cutoff times depending on other criteria, such as economic trends and an application's history with the company. But creditors rarely, if ever, require you to have a 850 FICO score. Instead, they might give the best offers to anyone who has a score in the upper 700s and higher and meets their other criteria. If you have an exceptional FICO score, 800 and above, you almost certainly have a high enough FICO score to get the best offers. However, it's still important to shop around because different creditors may offer you various rates, terms, and loan amounts. So what's a perfect 850 good for? Bragging rights. But it also gives you a little extra wiggle room in case your score changes. If you're right on the cusp of a creditor's cutoff, a new hard inquiry or higher utilization ratio might drop your FICO score beneath their cutoff. A higher score might drop and still be above that threshold. The pathway to a perfect 850? There's no single path to getting an 850 score. After all, everyone's credit profile is unique. However, a 2023 FICO study found that people who have a perfect score tend to share several characteristics. Considering your payment history makes up 35% of your FICO score, it makes sense that people with a perfect score also have great payment history. This group didn't have any late payments, collections, or other negative marks in their payment history. The amount you owe on credit accounts makes up about 30% of your FICO score, and your revolving credit utilization is a significant component of this score factor. It might surprise you to learn that people with an 850 FICO score had an average of $13,000 in non-mortgage credit balances. And we do have a little video that you can watch on that one as well, rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com, so you can actually take a look at how to pay your credit the right way. Average revolving utilization was just 4.1%. These people also have been using credit for years. The average age of their oldest credit card, not the average of all their accounts, was 30 years. Additionally, about 10% of the people had a hard inquiry from the previous 12 months, and about 25% had opened one or more new credit accounts during the past year. Whether intentionally or not, people with a perfect score tend to follow best practices for improving their FICO score, rsrccpayment.com, such as paying bills on time, avoiding using large portion of their available credit, and only applying for credit as needed. How many people have a perfect FICO scores? Data from April 2023 found that 1.7% of the people who meet the minimum requirements for a FICO score had a 850, 1.7%. That's an increase from the previous years, but still a small minority of the people. Broken down by state, Hawaii, New Jersey, Minnesota, Massachusetts, and Connecticut had the highest percentage of people with a perfect FICO score, but even in Hawaii, it was only 2.62% of the state's eligible residents. It's also normal for FICO scores to change throughout the month. They also depend on whether the underlying credit information comes from Equifax, Experian, or TransUnion. If you want more information on this, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean for engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.